House to Home gives practical tips and recommendations to keep your house up to date. Sponsored by Avista.
And welcome aboard to House to Home. This is Clyde Hosey, and joining me this afternoon, and I hope you're staying dry, but joining me this afternoon, we brought along Rick from the Rainman Seamless Rain Gutter of Spokane. And Rick, you have been with us before. We appreciate coming back. We've just had some good rains, and I'm certain that everybody's been directing them away from their home. But if they haven't, I think they need some help. They need help anyway with getting rid of that rainwater.
They do. You
with
don't
that,
want water next to the house.
No, you don't want to be holding on now. That is for sure. Thinking about it, Rick, what are some of the important issues besides having clean rain gutters in the springtime?
Well, the biggest thing is keeping the water moving away from the home, away from the landscaping, away from the concrete. Protect your investment. That's really what rain gutters can do for you. You don't want water in the basement. There's mold issues, there's insurance issues, all those things that happen. So keeping the water moving away from the home is critical. Like you said, clean gutters are the place to start.
Well, and if you haven't cleaned your gutters from last fall, which you should have, but they need to be cleaned now if you haven't, or at least take a look at it and see what's going on, because right now they need to be functioning at 100%, right?
Yes, with rains like yesterday and the winds like yesterday, it puts a lot of stress on the rain gutters and the roofs and where the water goes. So they need to be kept clean and need to be flowing the right direction.
Well, you just brought up a real important point. Some of us have the downspouts coming out as they come down the wall, and some of us even have pipes on the end of them. And I thought about this, the rodents and so forth over the wintertime can get into the ends of the pipe. So make sure that it's clean all the way so water can actually come out. And if you want to, put the garden hose up on the rain gutter and let it and see what happens, right?
That works really well.
Well, we got to get water and take it away. One thing that I wanted to talk about briefly, and I know that we're going to touch on it as we move along, but we see these leaf guards. And again, I've been a believer on House to Home. We've helped a lot of people. We've allowed them to understand the rights, the wrongs, but I want people to become educated in how are the right type of rain gutters or what questions they should ask. So that's a loaded question for you. So you've got about 5 minutes to bring that one to head.
All right. Well, there are 85 different systems out there today, different brands, different styles. None of them are perfect. Mother Nature is very good at what she does, whether it's bees or whether it's snow and ice or whether it's pine needles that we all seem to have a lot of. So you need to decide as a homeowner what is going to work best and maybe even look better on your home. Many styles of covers will attach to the roof, attach through the roof. I think that's kind of a problem, but many styles do that, and they've had good luck with them. Other systems are replaceable. Other systems are very inexpensive from, say, Home Depot or Lowe's, and they function for a while. So there is no perfect system. What you want to make sure that you have is a way to not let the downspout get plugged. If the downspout gets plugged, everything else at that point is useless. It just fills up with water and overflows and comes straight down, possibly even around the foundation of your home. If you have egress windows, window wells, basements, you're not doing any good. So keeping that downspout clean is of utmost importance. That's what these leaf needle systems have to do. So if you're surrounded by fir needles or you have bees or you have pine needles or maple leaves, there are systems out there for each of those. And again, one size does not fit all. It just can't.
Well, if I could throw this in also, after ignoring and not taking care of the rain gutters for a year or two, you can even have trees growing in them.
The gutter gardens, we call them gutter gardens, where you pull up and there's things sprouting out of there. So yes, we see those. Keep your gutters clean are the best thing that you can do. There are many companies that do that at a very reasonable price. Many people like to do it themselves. Safety is a key issue. You need to be careful on ladders. It only takes once, and trying to save a few bucks on a cleaning, you just spend it at the ER because you fell off a ladder. And I'm getting old. I got gray hair. I don't do ladders anymore. I hire young guys because they bounce.
Well, I appreciate that. And folks, that's one of the most important things that you need to look at is safety, because you second chance when the ladder moves, you're going to go with it usually. So again, and also packing around the ladder around electrical wires, and sometimes these eaves are right where the services come in. Well, Rick, we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back, and I want to explore a little bit more of getting the water away from the foundation and
Okay.
talk about rain gutters in general. Okay, folks, come back and join us with Rick from Rainless Seam Gutter.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we want to help you celebrate your mothers and your grandmothers with all kinds of gifts. Have you ever been to your grandmother's house and she has a project for you to do and you can't find the shovel or the rake's broken? We have rakes, shovels, hose at $5.97. We have bird feeders. We have hanging baskets. We have everything that your mother or grandmother would ever want here at River Ridge Hardware.
Hi, I'm Dave Lucas. I'm running to be your state senator. I'm a husband, father, and Marine veteran with almost 22 years of experience. I know during this current medical emergency and time of uncertainty, people are concerned. I hope you and your family are doing well. I have the experience, leadership, and training to move us past this crisis. To learn more about me and my campaign for state senator, please follow me on my Twitter, Facebook, or my website at votedavelucas.net. Thank you, and stay well.
Well, welcome back. And I want to say, Rick, with the Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters of Spokane. Rick, you're giving us a lot of good information here. And before I forget it and we get talk about rain gutters, because I get really excited when I want to direct the water away from our foundation. But how can they get hold of you and what your website is and a phone number so that people can actually make touch with you, get in touch with you?
Our phone number here in the office is 509-536-4460. Our website is www.rainmanraingutters.com.
Okay, there you go. Folks, I've known Rick for 20 years, 15, 20 years. I've known of his company for many, many years. I trust Rick. He's even come out and did rain gutters at my own home. And I have to be very honest with you. You can't ask for finer people. He himself does not go up on the ladder. That's for sure. But he has hired help. They're really great people to have around your home. And let's be realistic, Rick. When you got subcontractors around your home, you've got to have the right ones. And Rick, you've got a fantastic crew. I can only say good kudos for you.
Well, thank you, Clyde. Yeah, I have a good crew. They're very experienced and they do care. They work really hard.
You bet. We touched some of the first things in the beginning was about directing the water away from your foundation and so forth. It has a downspout that cut at the end and it swings outward, but sometimes the grades around our home are not shaped correctly. So therefore you have to pipe them out. And that's real important. Or there is other attachments. What other recommendations would you use?
I think the ultimate is, if you can do it, is to get the pipes in the ground and run them to a dry well somewhere away from the house. That is the ultimate solution. I've had those in my house for 15 years. I've never had any water issues, which has been great for us. If that's not possible to do, maybe just a little bit of a pipe in the ground to a 5-gallon bucket, maybe a little farther away from the house, and drain the water out where maybe it slopes down. Last resort is you can always put extensions on the downspouts, and they can be hinged or they can be fixed. But they tend to get lost over time. They tend to get kicked off and stepped on, and then you got nothing, or you forget to put them back on in the rainy season, and again you have nothing. So the ultimate solution is to get a landscaping company like Hossie to do their thing, to do what they do best, put pipes in the ground and move that water and put it where you want it instead of letting it go where it does.
That's real important. It sounds basic, but it's basic 101. Water does not have a brain for itself. We're the brain. We got to direct it to where it's going to be going. And at the end of the pipe, I really like drains that are opening up at the end, because that way water just continues to flow all the time, and put a screen across it that rodents can't go through.
Yeah.
That's real important, because that'll always stay warm or open. But the other issue is, at the other point, every year check on it. You have certain things to check on. Make sure the water's turned off. Make sure your downspouts, the drains are open all the time. That is so, so critical. I made a comment, Rick, when we were talking beginning. I said, if you have a question how your downspouts are working, put a garden hose up there and turn it on, right?
That's the best. That is the ultimate test, but you're testing how it's going to be tested. Throw some water up there, let it come down the downspout, or even if you want, you can put the downspout up the bottom of the downspout. But if you can get on the roof safely and let the water go on the roof and in the gutter, make sure it's flowing the right directions, nothing got loose, no corners are leaking, then you can just test it. It doesn't take very long, or maybe even a rainstorm. Like yesterday's a little bit extreme, but a normal rainstorm where you can watch it and not get soaking wet, maybe just make sure the water coming out the bottom. If there is, you're probably good to go.
Well, the other thing is I wanted to touch on, Rick, is that, folks, if you want to be creative, and I know Rick knows me well enough that I use chains sometimes on downspouts instead of the pipe, you can use, but again, keep in mind you will not control all of the water, right?
That's right. I think chains are an outstanding look. I love them when they freeze. They're very cool. You can go anywhere from a steel chain, a plastic chain, all the way up to copper and brass and beautiful chains. But they get, you pay for that. But chains will always splash a little bit. At least some is going to splash. So it's not all going to go where you want it. So therefore, chains don't fit well in areas around walkways and steps, because we do have winter here and you will get ice, and that's always a bad thing.
Well, at the base of the chain, you have to have it into a collect box or box that is piped out that'll carry the water away, right?
Absolutely should, if you can do it at all. Yeah, absolutely. Just do it.
Well, Rick and I've talked about these things. We've had those problems before. I even make like a dry well with rocks around it to gather and put some liner. I mean, be creative. You can do a lot of things, because especially if you have a downspout right by the front door, be creative with it. And you can use a chain, as Rick has said. There's even those decorative chains that come down that have little funnels on them, or whatever they may have on them, just different ones. There's umpteen numbers of them.
Yeah, whatever. If you thought of one, there's probably a chain made for it. So
there you go. Again, I want to point out to you folks that Rick has been around for a long time. There's a lot of options out there, but if you go with Rick and give him a call and ask him to come out and take a look, he's going to give you a fair, reasonable, realistic bid and do a fantastic job. Just don't forget, times have not changed. You get what you pay for. Am I correct?
Thank you, Clyde. Yes, there are a lot of new people out there that haven't been doing this very long, and you want the water where you want it, to protect your house, to protect your paint, to protect your landscape, to protect your investment, your concrete. All those things have to be protected, because water will destroy it in time.
Well, if I could share again, if you have questions, how do we make contact with you?
Phone number 509-536-4460 is the number. The email is info, just info, at raingutters.com, or you can go to our website and we have a contact button there.
Folks, you will not waste your time, and if you're looking for prices, include Rick into that. But you're going to be honest. I'm going to say he does the best job, guaranteed. I just know it's a fact, and he's done my own place. Rick, I want to share with everybody that now is the time of the year. Don't wait till end of the fall. If you haven't got rain gutters, get them up now, right?
Absolutely. don't wait till fall with your projects, whether it's painting and roofing. All those things have to happen. We want to be the last guy in. I understand that, but if you wait till fall, you'll be on a waiting list. Especially, I think this year is going to be really a weird fall. So don't wait if you can help it.
Well, Rick, it's been a weird spring already with many things that we haven't
Yes,
controlled. So with that being said, Rick, I want to say thank you for joining us. Any other last words? If not, we're going to move on. We have another guest after you.
Very good, Clyde. Thank you very much. And you stay safe out there and have a good day.
And the same to you. Don't forget Rick.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Avista.